So sorry about that. I'll make sure that doesn't happen again.
I have it set in my phone's calendar on a weekly repeat, so I just assume that we're playing. All right, stream and recording are a go.
Hey, for some reason, Mike, you're breaking up a lot today.
Yeah, I keep noticing.
So is anyone else having issues where?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, the connectivity keeps on like fluctuating really hard.
Yes.
Yeah, roboting you.
That's what I was noticing also.
Same here.
Like I'm red right now. Now I'm green.
Mine keeps on like fluctuating really hard.
Okay.
Everybody's
looks like we're logged in. So. Oops. Thanks for marking yourself as attending, Solomon. But that's the wrong game.
Wait, what?
Sorry, on Facebook, I accidentally set up the next Titans game as invite all in the Fantasy Grounds Weekly Facebook group. I accidentally forgot to uncheck the button, so it invited everyone again. Solomon just marked himself as attending. I thought at first that he had marked himself as attending this event.
Hey, folks. Sorry.
That was the plan.
Oh, hey, Jay's here too. It's all good.
Full party.
Yeah, I fell asleep watching Indiana Jones, believe it or not.
It's okay. We had some issues because, wow, how do you do that? Sorry, that just like processed in my brain. No.
How do I fall asleep watching Indiana Jones?
Yeah, I was just kidding.
Honest.
BRB.
I can fall asleep watching almost any movie if I'm determined enough.
Yeah, it wasn't my intention, though.
No. Yeah, apparently I set up the Facebook event but didn't invite a bunch of people, so some people weren't sure if we had games, so we're getting started late here anyway. Okay. So you arrived literally just as we were about to get rolling.
That's good that I'm not as late as I thought I was then.
We're all late. Yay.
Huzzah.
Some of us are.
Well, 2.5 hours a game is definitely better than no game, so I got no issues with that. And I'm glad that everybody's here because I wanted. Yeah, it's like yeah, exactly. It's not as big a deal now that we went weekly too. I just don't.
Now we can half-ass it. That's the joy of going to weekly.
That's the spirit.
Yeah.
On that particular note, by the way, I do have business. I have business going on next week. One of the executives for the company that I work for is actually going to be up here for the whole week while we're scouting out the new location. So sweet. I may or may not be here for D&D. I really couldn't tell you.
I understand. And the hurricane it's like hitting like today, tomorrow, the next day. So whether I will end up having to cover for people at work or not, it's also up in the air. So probably not, but I cannot say for sure. So yeah. We're going to plan for next week, but we'll see what the situation is. Just kind of remain flexible on that one.
To give kind of a basic background, the delivery company that I work for is opening a location in Illinois that I'm going to be managing.
Well, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Nice. Yeah, well, it is awesome, but at the same time, it's a huge risk, not only for the company, but also for myself, because my income is going to be based on how much business the actual location does. So if it does well, then I'll do well. If it does poorly, then it's probably going to burn me.
Well, oof, good luck. All right, so let's see. When last we left off here, is there stream started?
Yep, it's been started.
Cool. Good. Let's see. When last we left off, you were deep in the ruins of the hang gardens of Nangalore, having narrowly avoided numerous confrontations with hallucinogenic and carnivorous plants. And that's the main enemy you've been facing. You eventually made it to kind of the central area where you discovered a pit full of snakes, a large statue, things written on the walls, and a strange petrified figure standing next to the larger statue. There you learned the tale of Queen Zelcore in more detail and determined that she had at some point come to regret her curse or her actions, but is consumed by them. And let's see, I think that's pretty much where we left off. You guys exploring the central chamber. You just discovered written on the back of the larger statue and warrior the words "forgive me," and Hux had discovered written beside newer statue, the words "once a thief, forever a slave." Language you don't know, but Bran is able to interpret it through his magic.
Okay, as soon as I see that and I get that close to the statue, I move away.
I'll just I'll paste the description of the room in general for you here again too. Fennec, you're standing there on the edge of this pit.
Yep.
Out as everybody's adventuring around, and you look down into the pit full of water, and you can see it's about 20 feet deep, and it's the whole bottom is filled with like probably like 5 inches of rainwater. And in kind of, you can see just snakes, a lot of snakes, normal size snakes for the most part, but that can be, you know, small snakes, large snakes, 1 foot all the way up to like 8 or 12 feet. And they're all just kind of slitherish and on top and through each other.
Why does it
They're not completely coating the bottom of it. Like there's still room to maneuver and move around, but there's a lot of them, hundreds.
You're talking about the central pool, yeah?
Yeah.
Definitely don't want to go in there.
They're kind of hard to notice at first because they are mostly under the water, which is kind of like muddy and dark.
I relay that information to the rest of the group. Like, stay out of the water. Lots of snakes.
So do we have any like grenades? Can I use my boat?
To sail through the sea of snakes.
No, just
I
to
mean,
throw
you
it
don't
on
see
them.
any reason. I mean,
Free XP?
possibly.
As long as they keep their distance, I'm okay keeping mine.
Has anyone examined the clay urn that's mentioned in that description?
No one has taken a look at it.
Well, walking around, Fennec will make his way that way.
Shine will follow.
Um,
Or unless it's on the
Fennec.
other side.
Y'all
Fennec,
join
due
in
to
on
his
that.
archaeological expertise, no, that's in more or less the right place.
Okay.
Fennec, due to his archaeological expertise, can see that it recognizes that it is a urn. And he suspects just kind of that it contains the remains, the ashed remains of the warrior depicted in the large statue. Notably, it is quite ornate. It's painted with kind of a mixture of like that the Fennec can tell is actually gold and silver, kind of molten. But otherwise, it's fairly standard sort of funeral urn. And notably, the statue standing next to it again is like the smaller one is kind of like reaching towards it.
All right.
Anybody want to open it?
By all means. Just make sure there aren't any snakes in there.
Shine takes her bow, her longbow, and like tries to like pry open the lid.
It's not hard to open. Inside, you see ashes.
Okay, cool.
Nothing bad happens to you when you touch it or open it. At
I
least not
return the
immediately or
lid.
anything.
Probably still not the best to mess with a burial urn.
Sorry, you were breaking up there again. Couldn't really make out what you said. Just give it a moment and then repeat.
Said probably not best to mess with a burial urn, I'd say.
I put the lid back.
True.
So is there?
Frost, you might want to hang up and then on Discord and then reconnect to the conversation. I've had that work for a couple people. We've been having this issue
Alright.
on Discord.
Sounds good.
Several.
Resetting Discord really. Alright, hopefully that works.
I mean, it's working better so far. Shine heads out kind of like onto the balcony. It's overlooking this, what was obviously once part of the garden itself, but now it is this huge, well, not huge, pool of water that's kind of just meandering through the ruins. There was clearly another statue out there at some point, but it's long since fallen over. The water in the pool is unusually clear. There are more large fish, turtles, and lizards through it, and water birds pass. They're rippling on the bottom of the pool, so you can't quite make it out, but the bottom appears to be blanketed in oddly shaped bits of shattered stone rest atop a square dais that rises from the middle of the pool, evidence of the sculpture that once stood part of the west of the dais, and a large stone face is staring up at the sky.
Brian, want to go take a closer look?
Sure.
Like, can we see what kind of, like, what all the details are? Or?
You can't make it out unless you get closer, like what it is that's lying on the bottom of the water, like underneath the water. It's very, very still difficult to make out from the balcony there. Am I breaking up now too?
I think it's the server because
Hmm.
down at the bottom where it says voice connected, it just keeps fluctuating.
Oh yeah. What the heck?
Yep, it's doing it for me too.
Oh, yeah, sure. Also, the message you sent me, Jay, is fine. I heard you
Okay.
say you sent me a message, but I couldn't find where. It didn't come up on Discord right away. One sec. Let me try something to resolve our. Because if it's, well, it wouldn't be on my end. It'd be on Discord server. We just connect to it, right? Is that how Discord works?
It'll tell you exactly where you're at, and it says that it's based in Central Time Zone, and at well over 100 milliseconds with a 5% packet drop rate for me personally.
Huh.
Whoops, didn't mean to click that.
Okay. Hmm. Yeah, it's been like this all week.
Hold on a
One sec.
second.
Yeah.
Just taking care of some technical issues for the stream.
Everyone's still here?
Yeah, I think we're all just trying to find solutions here.
Pretty
One
much.
suggestion I saw is to go into voice and video settings and scroll down and disable high packet priority. That might help. I'm going to try that myself and see if it helps.
Sorry, it's just like commercials. I meant, you know what I mean? Or my, loyalty. That's what I meant. That's the word I was looking for.
I didn't mean to immediately join the other voice channel. Server's working too, or another server. That's not a bad plan.
I guess he's suggesting we use stable. I don't know.
Let me just
It
pop
depends on
over
his
there with
Discord.
him, and yeah, let me just pop over there myself and see if
Okay.
it. I'm going to
It
pop over your
seems to be
server and see
working
if
a
it
lot.
works better.
Yeah, I haven't seen it flash from green to red over there at all.
Yeah, let's go test it quick.
Be working. It's pinging much lower
Pretty good.
over here. Oh shit! Hold on. Why is everybody muted? Give me a second. Oh, I know what it is. Give me a second.
Yeah, you have it so that push to talk is required, and that's going to make it hard for me. But yeah, it's working better over here for some reason. So
Yeah, give me a minute. I'll fix that particular issue. I figured out what's going on with that.
Yeah, I'm not getting red, but I'm
Yeah.
still getting orange a bit, but that's fine. That's not nearly. I'm not really getting a packet loss according to it. Like
I
very
actually have a
Okay.
red
at least.
connection in that case.
So
I'm getting pure green.
All right, so I think I fixed it now. I bumped everybody over to a rank that it shouldn't require that. At least until I can figure out how the hell to change the settings. I've been.
it's still telling me push to talk is required.
Damn it! Give me a second.
Same.
I'm already there, I guess.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I mean, I don't use push to talk because it would make it very difficult while I'm running the game because I'm constantly
Oh, man.
moving around windows and stuff.
Yeah, I used to hate it. I used to hate the idea of push to talk, and I just kind of got used to it eventually.
I use it for most things. It doesn't work very well with me. But I do use the mute button on my the actual physical button on my microphone pretty obsessively. So
Sure.
I personally don't like push to talk, just because it interferes with other key bindings that I normally use. But I have recently gone through and set up a bunch of like audio filters to make it so that there's not so much excess background noise as there used to be for me.
Nice. Sounds like the streamer way to go.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
and
I don't imagine streamers are really like they don't like to mess around with push to talk when they're trying to focus on doing their thing.
yeah, you already have enough to think about when you're streaming.
Right, right.
Anyway, while Jay figures this out, we can continue on the game and just use push to talk for the time being, which isn't a big deal at all. And it does look like the voice is actually working now, so that's good. So what I was saying is, off the balcony, you will have to get closer to kind of see the details of the water's very clear, but you still can't really make the details out of what's light on the bottom of the.
Can I get out and how close do we have to get, like right up on the square that's on the edge, or?
Yeah, you have to. Well, you can probably skim over like the surface of the water if you want and kind of see what's down there. You'd have to like get in there to get at anything, but you can see what's in there by just kind of skimming over the surface.
All right, I'll take a look.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, I was sneezing a bunch.
I can take a look, and I can move out of the way, and then Shine can take a look.
Yeah. You could also kind of climb down the edge of the wall there if you kind of want to just like hang on there Tabaxi style. In case you are able.
I could fly and you could walk up the edge.
Yep. Either way, you're able to see that on the bottom of the water, it's like there's just a layer. You can't even tell exactly how deep it is, but there's a layer of stone fish, turtles, lizards, and water birds. They look kind of more or less like depictions of the same species that are on top of the water, but it's just completely reformed and it's covering the bottom of this whole area.
I'm gonna go take a closer look at the pit with the snakes. See if I can see anything interesting.
I was gonna ask, what's the like approximate distance down from the water from this balcony?
For some reason it looks like I accidentally deleted all my markers, but I believe it's 30 feet more or less.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you're pretty high up at this point.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Sounds good.
Can I hop onto one of those rocks maybe and look down, get closer, kind of thing? Or
Yeah.
hover 10 feet maybe and look.
Did you not hear what I said was on the bottom?
Well, no, you said, but I mean, I guess
Oh,
if I was
okay.
gonna look for something more noticeable, I guess, than just the general background of what's happening underneath the water, I guess that would be more.
I mean, yeah, you can stand on those rocks. Nothing like attacks you. Some like other birds kind of fly off. There's fish in the water. They kind of swim away at first and then become more calm and come closer. It's kind of nice, actually.
Okay.
I mean, other than the weird bottom of the water and like the fallen statuary around you.
Okay, sure. So yeah, basically nothing. Nothing bad happens. Nothing unusual, really. It's just kind of.
It's just weird. I guess from there you can kind of see. Yeah, probably if you're like standing right on one of the rocks, you can see that like the layer at the bottom is at least 2 feet deep of these like piles of petrified fish and birds. And let's see. Make a perception check for me if you would, because I know you're great at those.
Hey, +1 is serviceable. I got a 15.
Kind of buried under several of the stones underneath, kind of to your right, you can see that there is a couple of human statues as well that are kind of mixed in with the petrified fish and turtles, birds, wildlife statuary.
Okay, like
So you kind of just see like a human hand sticking out of it here, reaching up, but clearly stone and statue. And then another place, there's like a human face that's part of a larger statue, just kind of frozen in a grimace.
are they life size, or are they like larger than usual human, smaller than a regular human?
No, they look, more or less human sized.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, Shine's taking a closer look at the snake pit. It's a pit full of snakes. Let's see. Shine, if you could also give me a perception check, please.
Do I see anything cool?
You don't notice anything. There's not like any treasure or anything down there. It's just a pit full of water and snakes, so it's not very pleasant. You can notice that they are like clearly coming into and out of the pit using the water pipes kind of on the side. So they clearly live here and then make their way throughout the gardens as they please.
Well, why else do you have a pit full of snakes? I'm very offended with this.
They just live here, apparently.
Is it still requiring push to talk? Because I can't find anything in the settings for it.
No, it is not. So I don't know what changed, but
Oh, you know what it is? Okay, I know what it is. I just don't know how to fix it.
Just for me.
It's something for the first 10 minutes that you're on.
interesting. Well, in any case.
Yeah, push to talks isn't required for me anymore either.
Okay, which means it'll go away for Angel here pretty quickly then. All right, I'll be back in just a second. My cat will not stop pestering me, so she probably needs food in her bowl.
Great. All right, so where to from here, team?
So it seems like everything in the statue room has been investigated pretty much. Is that the consensus of everyone?
Hey, could you put up the markers of like where we've been?
Everything kind of to the south of where you're at. The places you haven't been is kind of, let's see, like all along. Oops, that won't work. I forgot I can't make rectangles. So all along like the east, like the western edge. So here, actually, I'll just draw arrows. That'll work. Really, really long arrows. So like this whole area to the west you haven't been in, and then also this building, which looks this building to the northeast, which actually looks relatively intact, especially compared to the rest of everything else.
I vote we go there.
Yeah, I agree. I'll try to get a vantage point from over on this side, and I fly out of the balcony, land on that face. Boop. And I'll just look. I'll look upon the building
Oh,
as everyone makes their way
Okay, wait,
around
are
to
we
the other
going
side.
top
Wait.
right, top left?
The
yeah,
top
Shine
left,
was
I thought.
saying going to the right, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Pretend I did this. Hold on.
Redo.
I like to imagine the same character. Brad's like, "Yes, you got it." And he starts flying off
Boom,
in the
there we go.
opposite direction. It's like, no, that way.
Oh, there's a door here. Okay. Well, I might as well join the party then. Actually.
Yeah, this, like I said, that dome is intact. Everything else is in ruins, but that northeast dome is quite clearly still together. It's the double doors that you saw over there. They're actually made of bronze. They hang squarely in their frame. They're closed, but you didn't see any locks or anything.
We're off to see the monster.
Yes. What boss fight awaits us?
All of them.
Someone play
Oh
the Final
no,
Fantasy
not all of them.
theme. Koopaloo, you're with me. He's tiny and adorable, and I don't have a pet.
I'm pretty sure he's tied to Kawasha. And we have
Yeah,
a
he
Steggy
is.
boy. Steggy boy's a pet.
We do have a Steggy Boy.
Yes,
Steggy Boy's gonna be our
Steggy Boy
escape
is
vehicle.
mine. And that
Mark-
too.
Yeah, mark my words. He's our getaway vehicle.
I've returned. Sorry about the delay.
Koopaloo is his own independent plant.
That's
He
right.
can
yes.
hang out with me if he wants.
Just to cover Jay, they decided to check out the more or less intact building to the northeast.
I did want to take an extra look at that figure, that with the terrified look on its face, that statue.
Yes.
I did want to try to detect magic upon, like, in his general vicinity, to see if it is a statue or if it's legitimately somebody who's cursed.
Sure.
Glad someone has that spell.
That's a really good plan.
Yeah, especially if you take 10 minutes, it doesn't even use a spell slot. So
Is that a
Quite
cantrip
handy.
or level 1?
it's a level 1, but it's a ritual. So
Oh.
if you take 10 minutes, it doesn't use a spell slot.
Oh,
That's
man.
nice.
You still have to have it prepared, but yeah. Also,
Do-
note my message to you on Discord, Jay.
Oh, okay.
You can't swap out domain spells.
Oh, you're absolutely right on that.
You get those for free. I think you don't have enough spells prepared though. You should
Oh.
have. You should have. Oh yeah, you do. You guys are level 4. Yeah. So 16, or so 15 wisdom. Yeah. So you should have 6 spells plus your domain spells. Anyway, you take a little time to pray before the statue for Bahamut to unveil the secrets of magic around you. Very faint. You are able to detect a very faint aura of transmutation magic, just like the lingering taste of it.
Ooh.
You would strongly suspect that this is not a naturally made statue.
But what I also suspect that because of the amount of fade on the magic, that it may be impossible to reverse at this point.
Oh no, not at all. Give me an Arcana check, if you would, please.
I can help if need be.
Yeah, if you do want to consult with each other, you can roll with advantage.
Mhm. So let's all assume we just didn't leave quite yet.
Yeah. Or you're kind of discussing this as you're like walking between the larger area and the smaller one. 12 is still enough to know. If this is a flesh of stone or sort of petrification effect, it can be reversed no matter how long it's been, but it takes a greater restoration spell.
Hey, Balsar, what are you doing over there with that statue?
Nothing.
No, it was an earnest question. Well, anyway, if we're looking at statues for their magical properties, I assume that's what you're doing.
There. Okay.
there were a
Can you hear me
couple of-
now? For crying out loud. I don't know why it stopped
Oh.
responding to my button
Oh,
pushes.
that's why.
Yes.
Balsar, what did you say
Hooray!
in
Technical
response to my question?
difficulties.
So I say, I say there's something not right about this statue. In fact, I don't think it's a statue at all. I believe
Well-
this may have been a person at one point.
There are a couple more statues, human size, that are over there in that body of water. Might be the same.
Is that within 30 yards of me, by the way? Or 30, is it 30 feet? Might be 30 feet.
It's 30. Well,
Yeah,
it's
30 feet.
Sorry, which thing are you asking about? I couldn't quite hear.
The other statues, are they within 30 feet of me?
Oh, yeah, if you were standing by the petrified guy, for sure. No, you don't detect any other magic coming. Oh, wait, do you mean in the water?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you can maintain the detect magic spell and kind of move, so you'd have to move
Yeah, if
closer
you're-
to it.
If you're curious,
Okay.
I can lead you to it.
But if you come out on the balcony, you can immediately, like, as soon as the water, like, the bottom. Well, actually, it is 30 feet up, so you'd have to, like, get down there to have it.
Yeah,
be
that's
within
fine.
Range.
So yeah, he offers to lead me and I follow down. Are the statues in the water also people?
No, they're like a wildlife for the most part. Although Bran, if he wishes, can point out there are two people statues kind of buried in the 2 feet of
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah. Okay, yes.
I was talking about there are a couple more statues of humans. They're human
Well, as soon as you
size.
get like near the surface of the water, just like even 5 or 10 feet down, you could even just like hang off the side of the ledge for a moment, or like put your head down over it to get a closer look. But you can see just that same. It's still a very faint aura, but there's so much of it just coating the entire bottom of the water. Just hundreds of these little statues of wildlife, and at least 2 statues of people kind of buried in amongst them. All of them have that kind of very faint aura of lingering transmutation magic.
It seems that we have someone who is making a habit of petrification.
Perhaps an eye for preservation, then. Or, well, maliciousness. Malice, I suppose.
Can I roll a nature check to see if there's any kind of creatures I know of that would be able to turn people into stone?
Absolutely.
Like
I
how
don't know, a
common?
basilisk.
Yeah, how common knowledge are like gorgons?
I mean, you've heard of such things. It's possible for sure. And then Hux for sure knows. I mean, you're not sure if they're real or not, I guess is what I would say, but it's a crazy world, right? Medusa are, kind of terrifying, but Medusa definitely qualify. Also, it could be basilisks. That's maybe it'd be weird, but it could be cockatrices as well. Those are kind of the 3 main sources of petrification in the extra natural and natural world, outside of like a flesh to stone spell, which it could also be, but that'd be a lot of spell casting.
What do you know? Well, I guess that's. Never mind. I don't know to even ask that question.
Yeah, actually, what I know, if it's if for like basilisks and cockatrices, you have to look at them to be petrified, correct?
Oh, for all of these things, actually, you have to be looking at them. So basically how it works mechanically is if you're going to attack them, you have to take disadvantage on your attack. Now, sorry, that's just for basilisks. For the Medusa and the cockatrice, I believe either of them, it's just, let's see. Let me double check.
The
on that.
cockatrice's bite, right?
I think they both have gaze attacks. I know for sure with the Medusa that it can actually direct its petrification. Yeah, with the cockatrice, it's the bite. Good call.
If the one that turned you to stone is killed, would you be turned back?
No.
Well,
There's no way to know that.
I mean, not usually. Usually it takes
Well,
a
like-
greater restoration spell or some other type of magic. Although actually Hux would also know that the feathers of the cockatrice or the acid in a basilisk's stomach can also be turned into kind of temporary potions that can unpetrify people.
That's good to know.
yes. Next thing I was going to ask if anyone had the ability to turn stone to flesh.
That is very high level magic.
Take that as a no, then.
That would be a safe assumption. I believe that we should proceed with caution.
I agree.
Everybody, get out your mirrored shades.
Yes. Gaze upon me.
So since that happened, before we actually went to the tower, can we retcon something that I might be able to sneak to the tower first and try and listen to see if I hear anything?
Yeah, I mean, that's not even really a recon. You guys were just approaching it, so it's no problem at all.
Okay, I'll roll stealth then.
Yes, please. And then also perception if you're like putting your
wait,
ear up against
shoot,
the big
that's
bronze
the right roll.
doors.
So with a 10, do I hear anything?
Let's see here. I actually have to do some cleanup here. Okay. A lot of windows open. Too many. Too many windows.
Only there's multi-monitor support.
You can very, very, with great difficulty, you can make out that there's like conversation inside, but you can't really make out any details about it. You just kind of hear the very muffled sounds through the crack of the bronze doors, between the two bronze doors, of some kind of someone talking, one or more people talking.
Question: where's the arcane domain for clerics located on which book?
Oh,
I believe it's
Sword
Sword
Coast?
Coast.
Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide.
I believe that's correct.
You should also be able to just look on your character sheet in Fantasy Grounds under abilities, and click the Arcana domain. The red dragon head next to it.
Yeah. Oh wait, that was arcane initiate. Hold on. There we go.
So when I start hearing conversation, I'll give a hand signal to Shine to be like, halt, and then humanoid, but I give no numbers to signify I don't know how many there are.
I quietly relay this to the rest of the party. Oh shit, there are people.
Well, barge in, try to make a good first impression, perhaps.
Throw the boat!
We haven't
They're
learned
going
how
to
to
find
use
out
that yet.
that we're here one way or another.
I know how to use that.
I'll try to stealth a little bit closer as well.
All right.
And I will slink back from the door and kind of hide behind these.
You will hide behind this bush like a professional.
Definitely give it back up.
By the way,
Oh, shit.
JP, replace my request with enhanced ability instead of Niceless Magic Aura.
Yep, that's not a problem at all.
Oh, awesome! You did it for me. Thank you.
Yep, sorry. I was right there, so because I was looking at the spell list. Bran, you make your way up to the door. Nothing bad happens. You kind of just creep your way up to it.
I'm gonna give it a listen as well.
You can make out a bit more. I mean, these are heavy bronze doors. It's not easy to listen through them. You're kind of just trying to get what you can through the very small crack that between the two doors. And you can hear that it's almost certainly just one person talking.
Oh. Okay, I'm gonna turn back to everybody else and hold up one finger. Or I'll look at Hux and I'll look at kind of at Shine. I'll be like 1. And then I'll make a motion like knocking on the door, like knock on door, shrug.
I'll make a motion for people to like slowly come over.
I stay back, but give a thumbs up. Do the thing.
All right.
Fennec nods in agreement. What's the
give it
worst that could happen?
I'll give the door a couple of polite knocks. Nothing, not like Gestapo knock, like just like like I'm trying to knock on someone's door that like someone who might be expecting company. Just like a standard like knock on the door.
Sure. As you're all approaching, before that happens, but as you're all approaching, the door more closely and kind of arranging yourselves into getting ready for whatever's on the other side of this. Azaka is standing next to Fennec, and you're walking next to him closer. And she kind of says quietly, we have new companions who do not know about me. Do you think this battle may become difficult? Are you comfortable with them having this information? Do you trust them yet?
And they seem well enough, but that's your secret to keep. It's your call if you wish to keep it that way.
I will try to avoid it, but I will not let us perish. If I can
appreciate that.
Stop it.
I'm so glad that you asked him and not me, because if you asked me that, would have been an entirely different conversation.
All right, so you knock loudly, well, reasonably loudly on the bronze doors. Bong, bong, they kind of reverberate very easily. There's a pause, and then Bran, at least, and everybody else can kind of hear a voice, but Bran can hear a voice say from inside, like, do come in.
I turn to Belisar and I hey Belisar, is this door got some kind of magic on it, some kind of mojo?
Assuming that I've been able to maintain concentration this entire time?
I think it's 10 minutes, and I don't think it's been 10 minutes yet. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't look to be enchanted.
I don't believe so.
All right, I will crack the door open and look inside.
Don't look direct. Just on the off chance is one of these creatures we discussed.
Well, on the plus side, you'll know very quickly if it is. I peek inside.
All right, great. Inside, you can see that there's a single large chamber, and it's obviously a royal apartment, or at least it was centuries ago. Now the bright floral murals are dim and gray. Bits of colored glass are heaped beneath a cracked mosaic. Enameled wooden tables are split and tilting, and every bit of cloth is frayed and streaked. At the center of the room, a long divan stands atop a circular dais. Reclining on the divan is a woman dressed in a flowing robe. It's made from parrot feathers in stunning colors. Despite the heat, her arms, head, and face are covered in feathery veils. Next to her, a black orchid grows out of a large clay pot at the head of the divan. She can see you kind of looking through the through the door, and she says, she kind of looks off to the side for a moment, as if she's looking at someone else in the room, but you don't see anyone. And she says, "Strangers have come to Nangalore, my love. What boon do these subjects beseech?" She's clearly not talking to you, though, but she clearly saw you.
I'm gonna pause long enough to see if there's a reply or if she reacts to some unseen or unheard voice before I start talking.
She does react, and she kind of nods and kind of lazily waves one hand in the air towards you, beckoning, and says, "Come forth and speak with me."
Okay, I do not make eye contact with her, and I just kind of approach. I just kind of keep my eyes fixed on the cloak she has, or her garb.
All right, Bran opens the door up enough that he can slip inside and goes in.
Balasar immediately follows behind him, but is looking at the floor.
Shine follows along.
So, we've come seeking the black orchids, or just a black orchid, a single petal, I believe. It's for a ritual.
Shine gushes over her robes.
"Ah," she says. "Well, what do you think?" she asks, again looking towards the empty space, but she looks in a different direction this time.
If I look over there, I don't see anything, do I?
You do not. I mean, nothing except the kind of discarded, broken stuff that's kind of nice stuff that once littered this lovely room. I'm afraid that the orchid is part of the heritage of Royal Omu. It must not be shared with strangers.
Well, is there anything we might be able to offer that would make you more amenable to parting ways with a small amount of it?
One moment, I just realized Jay probably doesn't have the map up, so Jay, just so you know, it's there in the chat now.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I just realized we were in the last several sessions, so you probably didn't know what the map was.
I only missed one.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I can't count. Sorry, what did you just say, Bran?
I said, well, is there something we might be able to do for you that would make you more amenable to parting ways with a small amount of it? It is all we seek.
I'm afraid not. We must maintain the... And she just kind of trails off and, again, is staring kind of past you. I know you're not looking up or anything, but you kind of see out of the corner eyes the movements of her head.
Shine kind of pops up, or pipes up, and she's just like, "Is there any way that we could perhaps become more familiar with each other, or join as family?
How?
And as such, keep it all in the family?"
She laughs. It's not exactly a pleasant sound. It sounds troubled.
Yeah,
I can be like,
and
"What's up, fam?"
She replies to Shine's question, says, "That is quite forward of you, Tabaxi. I am already betrothed to my beloved, she says, and gestures to the empty space, once again in a different direction than the first two directions she looked in.
Am I detecting an aura or like potentially of an invisible person there?
You do not detect any particular magic in the room.
Can I I don't know. Let's see. Insight to kind of get sort of is her reaction to like we need to preserve? Is it sort of like a oh geez, so much has happened already. This place is in such a ruin. Like I want to hold on to what little I have, sort of thing.
Insight?
Yeah,
He wants to get a feel for her mood, like
right.
when
Motive
she's
or not? Yeah,
motive. There you go.
just kind of empathetic listening to kind of like how she's talking, I guess.
Yep, absolutely insight.
Okay, I'm also not very good at this, but
I mean, anyone can make the roll also who wants to.
Can I support? Is that one of those things that you can like support somebody with?
Yeah,
oh, how does that work? Advantage?
you'll have advantage.
Yeah, hold on one sec. Disregard. Wait, hold on.
You're a bard. You can do anything.
You can do anything.
How have you not tried to seduce her yet? What kind of bard are you?
I mean, the day is still young.
A reasonable bard.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like the sleep with everyone bard. You know what I mean? Brand's more of a good old boy rather than a playboy, if that makes any sense.
Beautiful.
You know, more about rapport than seduction.
Frankly, Brand, she appears to be high as fuck.
Oh,
Not
She's
to
like
put a
tripping
finer
balls.
point on it or anything.
And it looks, and you would guess that has been the case
Well.
for a very long time. Like this has possibly been a years-long trip.
I can't think of much of a better way to preserve one's heritage than allow it to be, shared to some extent. Not taken, not removed, not erased, of course, but spread about in small amounts, perhaps a bit, perhaps disseminated in some way, if that makes sense. Start talking like that, see how she responds to it.
This is the most beautiful thing I possess, other than my beloved, she says, and
Well, I
laughs
think
almost nervously again.
I believe the cloak you're wearing could also stand to compete in that, but I'm afraid I've not laid eyes upon your beloved, so I could not make an assessment one another. But I will trust your words.
How kind of you. It was recently made for me by the master artisans of distant Mesro. It does not look like it's new.
Sure.
She seems to consider for a moment, and then you make a persuasion check.
Again, can I support?
Yes, if you if you can describe to me in what way you're helping Bran here.
I'll just make a second roll. How about that? We take the highest.
Well,
If it works.
yeah, but
if it works.
how's Shine helping him? Does she say something to kind of like add to his persuasion, or?
Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
Balasar kind of turns and looks at the other members of the party that are not currently engaged in conversation. If this fails, I have an idea, but it could end in conflict.
Yeah, Hux has been hidden this entire time. Arrow knock, just ready for something to happen.
Ready for shit to go down.
Fennec just nods.
All right. So Shine again pops up with her forwardness, and she's like, "There are many beautiful things within this garden. You, not the least of which, the statuary, not the least of which, this flower, certainly is among the greatest of the things here. But as of right now, you are the only one who's currently enjoying them. Would not the greatest expression of that beauty be to let others at least be able to see it and then want it.
Good.
Yes. Oh yeah, super. There's no
Nice.
like
There we go.
there's no like metric of like you trying to help really. It's just I need some sort of
Okay,
narrative
right. I
Yeah.
just wanted to see. I just wanted
Only,
to hear if you accepted
only
that.
an exalted does such a thing exist.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that yeah.
Between Bran and Shine's arguments, she does seem to be persuaded a bit. She, after a moment, inclines her head gracefully and she says, "My beloved eye, we believe that if you were to give us a piece of equal beauty, we could exchange."
Brand immediately thinks back to the crumpled story he wrote. Just kidding.
Oh, wait, no.
Poetry
that
of
was
our
terrible.
greatest
Sorry.
artisans.
Fennec would like to speak up here. Something of equal
for
of equal trade, huh? He's gonna step a little closer, reach into his pack, and pull out a very pretty shell. How about this? It was a gift from the spirits.
That is quite impressive, but I do not believe it possesses the same value as my orchid. She looks back towards the group and then she kind of gestures at Bran.
I have a strange question about Dragonborn.
Uh-huh.
We have scales, correct?
True.
Do we not shed them on time from time to time?
I
I'd
imagine
we
you do.
would.
I mean, I think
So-
it'd be more like snake skin than actual scales.
It's more like, yeah, patches of it. I mean, you molt occasionally, I would imagine.
Mm.
Everything all kind of reptiles do. But well, before you get into that, she is gesturing, and she gestures towards Bran, and she says, "We would accept this one as a consort. He is lovely enough and quite peculiar."
I just giggle and quietly mutter, "It's 'cause you're so pretty."
Well, as much as I appreciate the gesture and I'm quite flattered, I do value my wanderlust greatly. I would not see myself confined.
Confined? Why? You would leave any time we do.
Well, beholden to the terms of another, I suppose, is a sort of confinement, is it not?
Ah, yes. As queen, we understand so little of such thoughts.
Well, as is your station, of course. Your Highness? Your Grace?
Seems to accept this. She doesn't exactly reply.
Shine asks, "What sorts of things do you value? What do you find beautiful? Other than our shiny friend here."
Oh, art, gemstones, jewelry. Natural beauty here abounds, but of late we find ourselves bereft of craftsmanship.
We have Balsarkers. Wait, we still have those gems. Where are those gems?
In the party
I
inventory.
can make her something cool.
Yeah, it's in the party inventory. I know. But I mean, he actually turns around.
Shiny
and goes,
gems.
yeah, we have those.
Gems. We have 3 shiny gems and a gold ring. I don't know if that's enough.
So I could probably turn it into something cool. Just
Offer
saying.
it. Offer it.
Interesting idea.
What do we need with riches if we succeed in our quest?
Ooh, I asked the queen if she has any interest whatsoever in making her own jewelry, or if that is beneath her.
Oh no, it is most certainly beneath us to sully our hands in such a way, though at times we do deign to lower ourselves to working in the gardens, just for the joy of it.
Then if jewelry and shining things are what bring you joy, then what greater joy would there be in being able to create your own custom pieces? Make it whatever you wish, however you wish. You could include the flowers.
Um, she thinks about it, or she's thinking about something at least.
I don't know, I just thought it would be cool.
She says, no, I do not think so. We must maintain our royal distance. The people of Omu will think poorly of us if we are unable to. And then she once more just kind of trails off.
So do you guys want to offer the gems?
Please
I think that would be a start.
see if she'll take them. Because my alternative idea is not good.
You can hold them up and she'll glance at them and then she'll look away again. I am afraid those are petty gems, unworthy of royalty. The ring is nice, but hardly the same value as a black orchid of this quality. It is the only one in all the garden. It's very special to me. Her hand kind of reaches out and gently caresses one of the petals.
How much of this flower really? Sorry, Belisar says, how much of this flower do we really?
You need one petal per person, is
Yeah.
what
Oh
the,
shit.
the
That's like
person from the monastery said.
a flower.
That's most of the flower, yes.
Well, the rest of you need one. I think we just need 4. Wait,
That's true. Brand does not need one. And it
6?
depends on if you want, if you want if you want weed and Kawasha and Azaka to be able to fly. So I'm laughing because now I'm imagining the flying desert pygmy.
I imagine someone might be able to carry weed.
Well, we're forgetting
That's
one
true, that's true.
person. Steggy Boy needs one.
Yeah.
Maybe what does need
That's what I was
How
about
are
to say. Flying Steggy Boy. Flying
Look, we'll
mount.
cross this bridge when we come to it, but how are you going to get the Stegosaurus up to the monastery? Just a thought for you to consider.
Oh, I
with
suppose.
a lot of rope.
We'll create an intricate
Oh, it has to
pulley
be from the
system.
monastery. It can be from elsewhere.
Do you see anything around you where you can make a rudimentary lathe?
Who are you asking?
No, that was a facetious question. I was
Oh,
quoting
I see.
Galaxy Quest.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Let's see.
I'm gonna offer up one of the Onyx Chewinga figures. See what her reaction is to one of these. How about one of these as a piece of art for you?
The last thing I want are the eyes of Oobtao watching over me. She kind of scowls at that. It is an impressive piece, but nothing that I desire.
Is there anything specific that she wants? Like, does she have something in mind?
Clearly she wants something of considerable value. Everything you've offered right now, or so far, has been like worth, each individual thing has been worth 50 gold pieces at the most.
Yeah, how much do Aarakocras go on the market?
Brand is
Especially-
probably worth more than 50 gold pieces.
I should like to think so.
I mean, for like to own him forever. Renting is cheaper, of course.
That thought had crossed my mind.
I have a boat.
Let's see. Hold on one sec.
Would she
I mean-
possibly want the boat?
It's quite possible if you explain that it's a magic item. It is probably worth quite a few gold pieces.
Let's see. I don't know how frequently you go out on the water, but I possibly have a vessel that you may find worthy of yourself. And I hold out the box.
That is a.
And then I
She's
point
kind of-
out how it can be, with the
Then
right word.
She actually says before she interrupts, she says, "What a beautiful boat," even though it's still a box.
All right,
ship.
I like her more. But no, and then I explain how the box works, how the boat works. Because
Oh
that's,
yes, the
like,
boat. Yes, this is a folding boat. Yes.
It's folding boards.
Folding
They can
boat.
come in 2 different sizes. You can either have a smaller one for if you wish to have like smaller expedition, but if you truly wish to go out and show off how glorious you are, then it can be a massive ship.
No, not
We
only
are.
that.
Yes.
I'm gonna cast friends on her.
Oh, excellent. Good call.
I'm gonna say, well, not only that, but it is immensely practical because it could be stored in such a small form, but it could be expanded out to its full. It could expand out to its full size at any moment. Just you have to say the magical words, and
You could throw it at your enemies.
Just so you know, Bran, hold on. Just to confirm, because I want to make sure that you know this, because Bran knows this. When the spell ends after 1 minute, they know that you used magic to influence their
oh, that's
mood.
right.
Please don't do that.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't do that.
All right, but
We
you
don't
can still
wanna-
make
we
your
don't-
argument by all means.
Oh no, I'll still say that.
I just wanted to
It's
remind
more
you
like
of
an
that
incident.
important fact.
I just read the first part, not the second part. Thank you for that.
We can still just book it.
Yeah, you have 1 minute at that point.
1 minute. You better make it good.
Her eyes are wide. And on that note, also kind of like an out of game level because of Shine's kind of expertise in these matters. Shine knows that a magic item of this type is probably worth like at least 5,000 gold pieces.
That
And I
doesn't
haven't
do
gotten
it.
to throw it at anybody. I'm very upset about this.
That's true. She says, "We wish you to demonstrate. Unfold the boat."
Yeah, I clear out of the way.
I joke and say, in here?
Yes.
Okay, well. I sit the boat down, back everybody off, and mutter as quietly as physically possible whatever the opening words are. Open sesame.
Do you...
To the medium boat, not the large
Yeah.
boat.
That makes sense. Yeah, I don't... The large boat would barely fit in here. The bolt, in a series of intricate movements, the small box begins to unfold. Cloth comes out of it in various points until eventually it is like a small, a small sailing kind of yacht, 10 feet long, more or less. A pair of oars, an anchor, a mast, and a sail. The whole thing. It could probably fit like 4 of you. Queen looks quite impressed.
I make a show of like swooning over the boat and making sure that she can see me doing that.
Beautiful.
Because I'm just like, this
So beautiful.
is every sailor's dream. I must inform you of this.
We are delighted by this. We would gladly accept this gift and in exchange gift you with our black orchid.
Shine sighs sadly, or just very quietly, because she never got to throw it at anybody, and agrees. Is everyone okay with that?
Yes.
Hux is shaking his head no, but no one can see him.
He's just like around the corner, still peeking out every once in a while.
No, just listening.
Just sitting outside.
Damn it! I had such a great action that I was going to do if she had said no. Oh well.
Oh, it's all right.
You tell,
I mean,
tell us about
technically,
it.
you still can. I still haven't actually told her the password. So if you want to be a dick,
Nope. No. Because if she's agreeing to it, then I don't need to do this.
I'm
All
definitely
right.
curious to know what you would have done.
yeah. What? Hypothetically,
Hypothetically, I would have displayed to this woman that of my true lineage tracing all the way back to Bahamut, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Respect my culture.
bitch, I'm a dragon.
No, I would have identified myself as such first, and then offered up one of my scales. As it would be priceless.
That'd be
Oh,
impressive.
wait, why didn't you do that first?
Because you're giving away a boat already.
Yeah,
Balthazar doesn't want to give up his scales.
No, it has nothing to do with that. It has simply to do with the fact that it is a giant gamble, because the way that he's going to do it, she will either absolutely buy into it or absolutely attack me.
Bow down. Bow down.
Goodbye, boat.
Yeah, I know.
Well.
Yeah, I totally ham it up.
As a
She
show of
gestures.
trust,
Mhm.
hoping that her royal honor will mean anything, I give her the password and I give her the boat.
Please, she says, will you? And she kind of gestures towards like a desk that has like one leg broken off of it, but it's still on like kind of leaning against the wall. And she said, you can see that there is some like ragged paper and a quill and some ink on there. And she says, please write the command words. We would
All right.
not wish to forget them.
So I say, all right, as I do this, and my friends can get the orchid, and I walk over and I write them down.
Yeah. Who's picking up the orchid?
I'll do it.
It's in a pot.
I am the
Or you can
Aarakocra
just pluck it out.
emissary, I guess. Sort of. I think I technically count. I'm one of them, but not one of them.
I thank her profusely.
She is gracefully grateful and or not entirely capable of paying attention.
Totally good with either one.
May I ask what you intend to do with the orchid? Are you adding it to your own collections?
Tread carefully.
Well, it is a necessary piece of a very sacred Aarakocra ritual that will allow some of us to gain the ability of flight.
Oh, she says. You came from Kersabel.
I did. We did.
And she kind of says quietly, mostly just a brand, but you can all definitely still hear. It's like that kind of like loud whisper that someone does when they're drunk.
Oh, it's like a stage whisper.
Yeah. She
Yes.
she thinks she's being quiet, but she's still quite loud. Tell me, did you meet my descendants there? Are they still well? Is there still hope that Omu will be restored? And for a moment, it almost seems like a moment of clarity.
I'll lean in close and I'll say, Your Grace, I believe that such is inevitable. I believe you'll see a rise to glory again in the near future. And I try to say it a little bit more surreptitiously than she did.
She quickly looks off to the side again and says, do you hear that, my love? Soon, once again, we shall be restored, queen and general, as we were meant to be.
I try to channel my memory of meeting with Malaxanare, like to really kind of sound genuine, even though I'm kind of like uncertain. But I do think there's a possibility.
You're less certain than you sound, but you're trying.
Yes.
Now, Hux is woefully ignorant of the politics of any human thing, but have they heard anything about royal lineage of Chult?
Yes. So basically, there were once more cities in what Hux would know is there was once more cities in more than one city in Chult. Currently, there's just like one human city. There used to be a lot more humans around, and there were like two primary ones, and both of them are long since fallen into ruin and abandoned. I don't think Hux would really know much more than that. He knows that like when Ubtao abandoned Chult, everything went to shit because of his education in that religion.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Where, if you have met my descendants, and if you intend to aid them in restoring Omu, it kind of moves to the other side, then you must go to there.
That is one of our quests. It will not be easy, but we will do what must be done. Of that you have my assurance.
Kind of gestures for Bran to like come in closer.
Okay, step a little bit closer. I'm not gonna like not within touching range necessarily, but I'll step a little closer. Oh no. What are you doing?
Gran snaps out and she grabs a hold of Bran's lapel and drags him close to her. And he's looking he's kind of forced to look directly in her eyes, but he doesn't feel petrification. He does for a moment. And this all happens very quickly. We can go into combat in a sec if you choose to. But she's basically just going to pull him close, and she says, as you're staring into her like yellow snake eyes that you can see now that you're very close, and you can hear the hissing coming from her hair.
Holy shit!
And she says to you, "Go to Omu, restore my lineage, redeem me from exile. Between the fire peaks and the great iron mine of the dwarves, you can find my lost city. You will do this." Then she kind of like pushes him back right away from her. You did feel very briefly like the stone, like your face turning to stone, and all of you can kind of see around the feathers around Bran's eyes have turned to stone just slightly, and then kind of fall off his face as it goes back and the effect stops happening.
As soon as she grabbed onto Bran,
Mm-hmm.
Balasar readied his weapon and started moving towards her. He was not going to give her an opportunity to complete that incantation.
Yeah, I think Hux, now thinking about it, they weren't looking at what was happening. They just heard grab, so probably would have shot.
Yep, no problem.
Fennec's hand would have went immediately to his blade also.
Appropriately, Bran gets to react first, technically.
Okay, so I see Fennec and I see Balasar draw their weapons, and
Yeah, and you actually
it looks like they mean harm, yeah.
Yes, and I believe you. I mean, Hux is going to shoot kind of regardless, so I believe you kind of like hear. Since this is all kind of happens at the same time. You'll hear like the twang of Hux's bow as well.
Okay, I look down. I'm gonna look down and bow and say, Your Grace. And then I let them do their thing. But I make sure I'm looking down.
Good call.
So,
All right. Balsar strides forward. Although I'll also note there's something. Well, actually, just carry on.
My initial action is just going to be simply to cast a spell. Belisar's voice it gets immensely loud, so loud that you think everything in the room is rattling from the sound of it. Release him at once.
Excellent. Roll intimidate with advantage.
Nice.
I imagine you're using thaumaturgy to.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Just checking.
Nice.
critical.
Okay.
So I guess she's saying all that, and then instead of like releasing her of her own will, she will in fact react to like Belisar's intimidation and just kind of clearly seem afraid and like holds her hand, like lets go of Bran and like holds both her hands up, like not in a gesture of like surrender exactly, but just like hey, we're all. Just kind of lean back. Shine?
Shine kind of sees what happens and then points out how she didn't actually hurt anybody.
She didn't hurt
Like,
anyone.
everything's cool. She wasn't attacking. We're good. We just worked really, really hard to keep this peaceful.
Hux, are you still firing?
I want to say there's
You
still
kind of, because Belisar, before, as you got ready to fire Belisar, before you could really get a chance to, Belisar's
Okay.
action is in place, so.
Hey, y'all.
And
I'll be
Shines,
right
for
back.
that matter.
Oh, excuse me, were you talking to me?
Yeah, sorry, it's
okay.
Hux's turn. Those actions did kind of take place before Hux got a chance to shoot. Like he knocked his bow and was like about to whirl around and fire because he heard the grab, but then he heard the other two things happen as well.
So I forgot I had to do push to talk. So Hux is going to relax the bow just a bit and not fire, but any other sign or sound of aggression from that room, and she's gonna get shot in the head.
Sure. Basically, you're ready in a surprise attack. I'm cool with that.
Yep.
Okay. Do we need to stay initiative? Are people going to attack next turn? Assuming that she doesn't.
Assuming that
I
she
won't if
doesn't.
she doesn't.
I ready an action that if she takes an aggressive movement towards anyone in the party, that I will attack. Otherwise, I'm not going to.
She takes a deep breath on her turn and she says, "My apologies. Please." And she kind of looks to the side out towards the garden or the flooded garden area, that other door, and she calls out, "Wine!"
Hold on. Let's see. Are we out of initiative turn, or are we still doing that?
As long as people aren't intending to attack her immediately based on that action. I mean, she's let go of Bran. She just called for wine.
I have no wine.
She's finally yelling at someone else, but she's been talking to someone else this whole time.
I'm gonna.
Well,
I have a spell I want to cast whenever it's my turn, I guess.
Sure, yeah. Well, you're technically next, so go ahead. Although
I'm
I
gonna
think I
cast
accidentally deleted
I'm
the
gonna
whole
cast
initiative order.
suggestion on her,
Let's see if I can.
and the suggestion is that your servants will be tending to you very soon on that western door. You should go over there to let them in. And what's the save?
What are you casting?
suggestion.
Oh, nice.
I'm getting her to walk over to the other door, hoping that it gives us enough time to just grab the petals and just get the fuck out of there.
Go. I mean, you have the orchid.
Oh, we do. Okay, well then I want her to walk over there, and we'll just look it by.
She does not seem to take your suggestion. And she frowns at you when you do that, but she doesn't. I mean, I guess you're not looking at her face. You can
No.
hear light hissing. You're close enough from her hair.
No, in fact, if she starts taking, well, I'll tell you what happens. If she takes an aggressive action, I'll tell you what I do.
She doesn't take an aggressive action, but
Okay, good.
you can tell that she could tell what you tried to do and isn't pleased about it.
Well, I suppose we have we've gotten what we've come for, and you've gotten your boat. Shall we see ourselves out?
I insist you must permit me to make apologies for my rash behavior. And at that, the western doors do open. And you can see, of all things, a crane. You know, the bird. Long, graceful legs and kind of feathers hanging off of it. And it's holding kind of, its two wings are kind of out in front of it. And it in a very rigid position. And balancing on top of them is a tray that has fruit and wine on it. Several glasses, a basket of fairly delicious looking fruit, and and 2 bottles of wine. It carries it forward, kind of sets it on the edge of the dais, and then will back away, kind of bowing as it goes and spreading its wings out, and then head back out the door, closing it with its foot as it after it exhausts.
I just idly think a polymorphed servant. I don't want to think about it too hard.
I express appreciation. That's really cool.
I mean, it's a cool sight, but I'm just wondering about the. Never mind. I mean,
I have no moral quandaries with this.
I'll remind you that you did hear about these things. You suspect that was one of the Iblis, which was previously explained to you as being here.
That's
and
right.
being the reincarnated jerks turned into birds as sort of like a punishment for being jerks in life.
I see.
It's mostly sentient, relatively evil, but apparently willing to serve you wine.
Probably better than being turned to stone.
Yes, that's exactly right.
She gestures down at the tray. She picks up the glass that already has wine in it. The other ones are empty, but the bottles are open. And she reaches down, picks up the glass, and takes a sip herself. And then, like, holds up her glass and is like, "Please, help yourselves."
Your Grace is most generous, but I would prefer to keep my wits about me.
Fennec
Come
takes
now
a
with-
glass.
I step forward and... Yeah, sure. A single drink for the road as a farewell.
Exactly. A single sip would not impede you.
I back up.
I'm gonna insight that crap.
Yeah, me too. I'm already on edge
I crit.
against her. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just Fennec can do it. It's fine. He's got it. I have a 0, so I can't do better than that.
Your Fennec crits an insight, and Balasar feels guilty about lies he told when he was a child.
Right.
I'm sending you a private message. One moment.
A private message. Sorry, it was just the tone of voice you had when you said that. I'm sending you a private message.
I'm sending you a private message.
Yeah, there you go. That is much closer to the tone that I was hearing.
That's just how I talk, damn it.
The way that you said that just reminded me, or made me think of, what's the character's name? Like, Saint McCloud on Venture Brothers.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's spot on. Yeah, exactly that.
Face me, quiz boy.
Yeah. Oh man, what a great show.
Let's see. Is that bird thing still next to us?
No, it left right away.
Okay.
It just came in and delivered the stuff and then left.
I reach over and pick up a piece of fruit and look at Fennec.
Fennec,
Fennec's holding the glass of wine.
kind of looks down, averting eye contact, or looking directly at the person. I think our bird friend is correct. Should keep our wits about. I'm gonna pass on your offer. We should really all get going, he says more sternly to the rest of the group. In a way to,
Yes.
like, hey, let's go.
Fennec speaks true, I say.
I pick up a
Uh,
second.
And normally I'm
stick
not
it in my
one
bag.
to. Normally I'm not one to turn down such turn down drink. You know me, but I'm instilled with a sense of duty of sorts, I suppose.
She
Like
reaches
the
down
event.
and flings the tray across the room, where it clatters across the floor, spilling wine and fruit everywhere.
Shot to the head.
Yep.
Wait, what did
Last
she just
resort.
do?
She threw the tray.
You flip the table, trade.
Yeah.
And as she does that, Fennec shouts, "It's a trap!"
Wow.
I still have my 2 pieces of fruit, which I stuck in my bag. I'm hoping to get me really.
Nice.
It's
nice.
important that she gets to keep her fruit, damn it.
I didn't get to keep my
Just
boat.
don't eat it. Don't
You
eat the
get to be a
fruit.
boat? What?
Like at all?
Well, I
Or is it just
think
gonna
we're
get me
about to
really
fight
mad?
her, so by chain of events, I feel we could get the boat back.
I better get my boat back. Shine reaches down and grabs her bow.
Well,
You
I
go ahead,
actually,
Hux.
Oh, okay. Let me. Yeah, I'm just
Sorry.
going to shoot her.
Yep.
Let me get some. So, I'm not going to look at her because I know that's a bad thing. But I'm shooting from hidden, and someone's with 5 feet, so just regular die roll, no advantage.
Yes.
Oh shoot, that was supposed to.
Wait,
hit.
you were hidden. No, you still. Well, you have advantage, but you're actually outside, and it's cleared up. So yeah, it goes back down to regular roll.
Okay, so, well, yeah. So that I meant that 14. I didn't target anyone. Okay, there we go. Then effect.
Got you covered. You can always drag the number from chat onto the token or onto them in the combat tracker, or you can roll the dice onto them too, even if they're not targeted.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Fine then. Leave and do not return until. And then an arrow hits her in the side of the head. And just kind of sticking out of the side of her face. She looks
Well,
pissed, and the veils are flung off the top of her head, and you can see this crown of snakes all rearing back as if ready to bite, all hissing, just
she's a goddamn
angry as
Medusa.
hell.
Okay.
I did have a prepared action as well.
He did.
Oh, sorry, I must have missed that. All right, go
remember,
ahead.
remember, I said if she takes any aggressive action, then I'm going to go after her. That action has been prepared.
Yeah,
Haven't
all right.
moved.
Well, it has to be more specific than that. But yeah.
Well, I said if she
Yeah.
makes an aggressive action towards a member of the party, that I will immediately attack her.
Yep,
That was
so
specifically
do it.
what I had said.
Yep. So Balsar steps forward, I guess, after that, and swings a weapon at her.
Yeah!
Boom!
Get hooked on. Get in there.
There you go.
You're carrying the dogs.
But hold on, wait, sorry, one
Oh.
moment.
Sorry. She has damage
should
reduction,
have-
doesn't she?
Well, it's not that. That'll apply automatically. The larger issue here is that are you
Am I
sorry, I have to see how this works. Let me double check that if this works. Like
okay?
You might have a stone mason.
you have to if you're not, yeah, if you won't automatically be petrified, but if you want her to not have the opportunity to petrify you this turn, then you have to choose to take disadvantage and not look at her while you attack.
No, that's fine. She can. Balasar believes he's acting in defense of the rest of the group, so he would not have actually taken the effort to not look at her.
Cool. All right, we're good then.
Yeah, he literally just goes and he just wails into her with his mace.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, so since that went on at the same time my turn, the rest of it's just gonna be moving.
No, you got a surprise round. Sorry.
Okay.
You could have moved. I apologize. For that. This is This is in the surprise round. Technically, Balasar should win first, even, but it's all good. So yeah, the mace smashes upside the other side of her head after the snakes rear back and whatnot, and Hux moves to the other side. And did you want to hide? Try to hide over there? You had cunning action as well.
Let's see. Actually, how big is the box with a boat box?
Oh yeah, I guess I should put that on there. It's 10 feet by 5 feet, so it's like
Oh, never mind then. I can't pick.
it's
that
not
up.
super huge right now. It's like a little larger than a rowboat, or the same size as a rowboat with like a sail.
Oh,
I
we didn't fold it
Hux
back
could
up
still
before.
not pick it up.
No, because you were gonna leave it there, and she liked it.
Okay, never mind then. I will. Hux will hide for their cunning action.
Could you roll that stealth check for me so that I know if she knows where you are? All right. All right. So now we go into the first actual round. After all this confusion and bartering, Bran.
Okay.
Clearly,
I'm gonna
things
move-
have devolved.
Fuck it. All right, I'm moving up. Since Bran is a swordsman, he knows that attacks start with the feet, the legs, the hips, the shoulders, the arms. I don't need to look at her face. I just look down at her. I'm going to use my inspiration to counteract the disadvantage, if I could.
Yes. Well, so, how does that work? Yeah,
I'm
we'll
not
just
sure.
we'll just do it that way. With the way inspiration works, usually it lets you roll another die afterward. Like you choose when to use it. I'm not sure how it interacts. So let's just do it that way for now. So yeah, that's fine. You spend your inspiration to counteract it.
Okay. Well,
I'll find out for next time that comes up.
that didn't quite turn out quite how I hoped, but anyway, just wanted to explain my reasoning, I suppose.
Excellent.
Yeah, no, I'm engaged. I'm in my stance. I'm ready to start skewering.
All right.
The rapier scrapes across the dais, kind of like between her feet, sending up a few sparks, but doing no damage. Fennec.
Fennec's gonna keep his shield raised and like his face kind of hidden behind it, and go for a stab at her.
Attack at disadvantage. Oh, are you
kidding me?
Oh no.
That is that's sad.
No, Fennec's apparently unused to attacking things that he's not looking directly at, which kind of makes sense for Fennec. And instead, just like shoves it right into like the cushions of the divan and kind of gets his sword stuck for a moment and then pulls it back out.
Oh my god, that is just the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
I highly
One
doubt it.
dropped to 20.
We've seen 3 ones in a row, haven't we?
Well,
Yes.
I've seen double ones on
Oh,
an
yeah.
advantage roll. That happened
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
All right,
I mean, a
Fennec.
disadvantage roll where you rolled a natural 20 and a 1.
Want
Ugh.
to move or
Screw
spend a
that.
bonus action or anything? No. On to Belisar. I just happened to have the stream up in the other window and saw Mike's face as he made that roll.
Ugh.
Oh.
That was
Alright,
the
Belisar.
first critical that I would have rolled the entire campaign so far.
Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. You
As a
should be rolling
champion,
more.
too.
Yeah.
Since I'm nice up close and personal, and there's really nobody between me and her, no chance that I'm going to hit anybody else. Belisar actually rears his head back and just unleashes his breath on her.
Nice. Also, I don't think I put the damage on her from the. No, I did not. From the sneak attack from before. All right. So let's see. Do we have a breath? Do we have an action set up for your breath? No, we don't. But I can do so really quickly.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Take me but a moment. Here we go.
Yeah, it's a 15-foot cone, cold damage, Constitution save. Each creature in the area must make a saving throw, which is determined by your draconic ancestry. So it's con for me. 8 plus your Constitution modifier.
Yep. So in your actions tab, there's actually a thing for it now.
Oh, look at that. So what do I do with it now?
So if you click the little magnifying glass next to it,
Mm-hmm.
you'll see there's a save. You can there's several ways to do it. You can drag it onto her token on the map. You can drag it onto her entry in the combat tracker. Or you
So
can control click her and then just click the button. As we learn to use fantasy grounds.
So did I do it right? Did it post the way it was supposed to?
Nope. Either drag the save onto her token or onto the combat tracker, or just the easiest way, honestly.
And that's exactly what I did, and it now has popped up the same way twice.
I don't know, maybe it's being inaccurate. The easiest way, honestly, is just control click on her. That will target her.
Okay.
Yep, that worked. And then just click the button next to save, the die-shaped button.
Did exactly the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's just showing what his save roll is for it.
Oh, it is working. I'm sorry. I was scrolled up. Oh, it's not quite working, but anyway, I'll fix it. I don't know what's going on there, but I was also not seeing the display. Why is it not? Huh, it must just be set up wrong. All right, well, I'll just have her make the roll. Sorry. It must be set up wrong in the action. I'll look into it later.
But yeah, it's DC 12 for me. I know that.
She fails.
All right.
Fabulous.
The damage roll should work, though, so.
Like that.
Yep, that worked. Very nice.
Yeah, so I mean, as he has rarely
I figured
used it in the course of combat, and it has not actually used it in the.
Sorry, that was just a test.
Gotcha. So you noted it, so if you're looking back at it, you're like, I fixed it.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So for those of you that have not actually witnessed this, the breath that rolls out of Belisar like freezes everything around, like leaves icicles and bits of snow, and just completely coats her. And for the briefest moment, she almost looks like a snowman version of herself. And then, of course, it fades just as quickly.
All right. Anything else, Belisar?
Negative.
Cool. Shine.
All right, I'm gonna take a step to the side That didn't actually do anything. Okay, cool. In that case, I'm gonna shoot her in the face, or at least like in the knee.
Yeah, are you looking at her when you do this, or are you going to take disadvantage?
Can I not look at her knee?
Uh,
Or actually, what's my movement?
When you attack her, you either have to take disadvantage or you are able to be petrified by her this turn. Potentially.
Can I like run over to the side, like over here? To where I'm not looking her directly in the face?
That still won't help.
Oh.
Your choices are to take disadvantage or not.
Oh. In that case. Nah. Let's roll the dice. Alright, so I'm gonna hit her in the face.
Okay, so you're not taking disadvantage?
No.
Okay. Balasar didn't either, actually. So sorry, this actually happens before that then. You succeeded, so you're fine. So you can continue now.
So, shooting in the face. And I'm gonna hit her with my shadow arrow.
Excellent.
So I'll
That
hit her with
is...
psychic damage.
Yep.
And then roll the damage.
Excellent. Yep, that's all working. And then what else? It's got a wisdom saving throw or be unable to...
She takes half damage, doesn't she?
No.
Or...
Not from the attack. The
Oh.
wisdom saving throw is making so that she can't see anything further than 5 feet away from her until the start of your next turn. But
Damn.
she's able to throw that off. So as the arrow strikes, it does kind of hit her like in the like collarbone area, and there's a burst of tendrils of shadow just kind of shoot out from where it hits and kind of wrap around her face like a blindfold. But the snakes like reach down and kind of rip it off. Even though it's illusions, they're able to like bite through it and tear through.
Alright, so I'm gonna use an action surge since I think pretty sure I've already won that save. And I'm gonna try and hit her again.
Yep, good call.
Sweet, hit her in the face. Whack her with another arcane shot.
How many
Cool.
arrows to the face can she take?
We're gonna find out.
At least 3.
Are you doing another shadow shot, or are you doing the other one?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll do another shadow shot.
All right. Go for it. I mean, roll the damage
Sure.
after you add the effect. Yeah, there you go. You
I think
got
it's
it.
added on twice now.
Oh, here, I can delete one. 1 sec. There we go. Now just roll the damage. Impressive. And she must make another save.
Come on, fail. Damn it. So close.
That was a better. Yeah, that one was closer.
She keeps rolling 14s for saves.
Yeah. The same thing basically happens except on the other side of her body. Anything else, Shine? Took many actions.
Nope. I'm done.
All right, Hux.
Okay, and I'm going to step out again.
Well,
Not,
question 1: are you going to be taking disadvantage this turn from her?
I won't be taking disadvantage because even if I am at disadvantage, there's friendlies within 5 feet of her, so that'd be advantage with pack tactics. So
True.
I'm just gonna roll normal.
Okay.
Oh wait, what was that about?
That is
Natural
a
two.
con save.
Well, sorry, the disadvantage was for looking at her when you attack.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not looking at her. So
You're not looking at her. Oh,
no,
sorry.
but
Okay.
yeah. But
Carry
the
on.
thing is, I get disadvantage that way, but I get advantage because of pack tactics, so they
Right.
even out.
Yes, that is true. So never mind that roll. You can continue.
Okay. Oh,
you
that's
hit
not
weed.
that's not what
Oh
was supposed to happen.
no!
We
Was
know.
this a 16 hitter? Nice.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's a 16 hitter. Okay.
As you can see.
All right, friendlies with a 5, so that would be sneak attack.
Mm-hmm. As that shot hits her, kind of blackish green blood, it hits her in the side of the chest, and blackish green blood begins to leak from the wound. That means she's at less than half hit points.
Woohoo!
In
And
one
then
round.
Yep.
I'm going to go back behind these bushes and try and hide again.
Excellent. Okie doke.
Who keeps hitting me? Ow!
Quasha, that's me. Jeez, what is he gonna do?
He's gonna get in that ass.
Wow.
I mean, metaphorically speaking. I mean, he's gonna get aggressive. I don't know.
No, I like how you said it the first time.
That was a bit of a Curb Your Enthusiasm meme there. So, yeah, getting that. Look up YouTube. Getting that ass, Larry. That's it.
I'm a little terrified with the amount of hit points this chick has.
I mean, it's a 7-on-1. So, I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, and the beginning and middle of the day, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Quasha kind of maneuvers up and around so that he's standing to the side of her and then slams his staff down on the ground, sending out a wave of thunder that reverberates and throws her into the folding boat.
Oh, we want to
So
save that.
can Shine like yell out the word for the boat? Because I don't want my boat to get hurt.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
Fold her up.
Well, it doesn't actually hurt her, but it might confuse
No.
her a little bit.
Yeah. She'll just be outside of it. But Quasha doesn't exactly understand that, so he's like, look, this boat folds up and unfolds. I'm going to throw her into it. She's still kind of on her feet. That you kind of have to do that as part of your turn. So we'll see what the situation is when we get back around to you, Shine. Oh, I guess she knows the word too.
Well, did she read the paper? Because she had them.
I guess she hadn't read the paper yet. That's a good point. She did hear the one word, but that's only to unfold it. So yeah, excellent.
Yes, but how
Then
high is
Azaka
she?
will go. How high is she?
All signs point to.
I believe the term is as balls.
Azaka
Yes.
rushes up and kind of jumps up onto the interior of the boat, the folding boat's unfolded form with her, and begins slashing with her scimitar.
Oh.
But Zakor apparently is ready for it and ducks under the first attack, and then just kind of easily parries the second with her bare goddamn hands, redirecting the energy. Steggy Boy's busy elsewhere.
Aikido.
Yeah.
Take her down, Koopaloo.
Koopaloo kind of shuffles forward, stands next to Shine, and chucks, using his sling, chucks a nut that he pulls out from kind of like inside his belly area. Unfortunately, it goes wide and kind of just rattles around the inside of the boat.
Oh, that would have been so funny.
Oh, shoot, I should have. Hold on a sec. Actually, you needed a roll. Well, that's not good. Oh, that would also explain why that was happening. What's it, DC 14? Oh, and I guess as Azaka's attacks miss, as she's standing there on the boat, she turns to stone immediately, her scimitar in her hand.
Wait,
No.
auto? Wow.
Damn.
Kawashi didn't have to make that roll. Weed
Shine
doesn't have to
dramatically
make that
howls.
roll because I don't think he can turn to stone. I guess he can. Well, he missed either way. So I'll just say Weed was attacking with his advantage. Sorry, I forgot about that for the NPCs, but Azaka would have just attacked and ignored it, trusting to her capability, and apparently was incorrect. All right, so Zelkor's actual turn. Now that Azaka is stone. Who pissed her off?
Uh-oh. Well, that's how we lose one party member, I guess.
Yeah, I know, right?
Fuck.
And if we're taking her down, we can always come back.
Yeah,
She'll
have to
leap
have
off the
passing
boat, land before you. When she lands, there is a short sword in her hand now. She's pulled from somewhere inside her dress. But
Oh,
first,
good. Oh, good. Don't worry, guys. I got this. I
her
have a plan.
snakes, the snakes that she has for hair, reach out, trying to, as she shoves her head forward towards Balasar. Several of them
Wow.
latch onto him.
Holy shit.
You can feel the almost acidic feeling of the poison coursing painfully through your veins, and the damage from their fangs sinking into your flesh. Then, as the snakes bite on, she begins shoving the short sword viciously towards your midsection.
Jesus.
The first strike lands true, slipping between the slats of Belisar's armor and parting the flesh beneath. The second one kind of deflects itself off of his armor as she is unable to find a place to get through it. All right, Bran, your turn.
All right.
Are
all
you
right.
averting your gaze this turn?
I am, but it doesn't matter because I'm casting heat metal on her short sword.
Good call. Nice.
She does not get a save.
No, it just happens. I think she gets a save. She wants to keep holding on to it.
Well, it's fire damage. It's only 3.
Any creature spell ends. Bonus action to do more damage. It must
Bonus
succeed
action.
on a con saving throw or drop the object.
Unless you're using a different set of rules that I don't know about, inspiration specifically just gives advantage. It doesn't give you a reroll.
Yeah, I see that. I also looked that up, and I've apparently been doing it wrong for a long time.
Yeah, I only had looked because I wanted to see if there was anything I could have done to prevent the amount of damage that I just took in that turn, and there was not.
Okay, so bonus action only applies to subsequent turns. So that means I can't do it to do more damage this turn.
Right,
I'm going to use my.
but she still has to make a save still
No, she doesn't.
to see if she drops the weapon,
Oh, I see.
which I will do now. She does not.
Okay. I will then use my bonus action to cast a level second spell slot healing word on
Nope.
Balasar.
Sorry. If you cast a spell as your action, you can only cast cantrips as a bonus, or vice versa. If you cast a spell as your bonus action, you can only cast cantrips as your action.
Okay, I don't have any cantrips that can be bonus, so
Correct.
unfortunately that's it. I will
Cool.
move.
You could Bardic Inspiration. That's a bonus action, or you could
Okay.
save it.
No, I will use it. I will Bardic Inspiration on Fennec.
Good call. That it can add to saving throws, so could be
You
handy.
could have just had your boat, but now you're gonna die. Your avarice will be your undoing. Fennec gets inspiration. That's my turn.
Woo. Fennec's gonna attack with So I'll take another stab at her.
Haha.
Woo.
This time you'll hit.
For 9 damage. Then I'm gonna use my bonus action from my. No, I'm not gonna do that yet. But he's gonna say to her after the attack is like, "Going to leave and you try and drug us. What is wrong with you?"
I do have a question about. Hold on, lost my train of thought here. Oh, never mind. So I can do an attack action and a healing word in the same turn.
That is true. You just can't
Okay.
cast
Oh!
Healing Word and another spell that isn't a cantrip.
I remember what my question was. My sheet already had a 2nd level spell marked off. Was that assumed from the last session that you used me for?
Yeah, I used a spell.
That's fine. I wasn't sure if it was something that just didn't get updated because I wasn't physically here.
No, I used a Cure Wounds, I think.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm actually going to well, hold on, let's see.
No, I used a Prayer Healing. That's right. Healed everybody up real quick.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm going to draw my shield out as I put a Cure Wounds on myself. I'm casting it as a 2nd level spell.
Nice.
Yeah, you are.
So you can, if you click and drag onto your token, when you do that, before you drop it, if you right click, it'll add another die. Well done. That was the best you could roll on that healing roll and the worst.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like my first attack roll tonight.
Do you want to move at all or take any other actions? Are you good?
I would like to take a step back. Like I want to actually back 1 square away from her if I can.
If you do that, she will get an opportunity attack if she wants to. It will use her reaction for the turn.
Yeah, that's her reaction for the turn, though.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll risk it.
Cool. I mean, you're basically tanking for anybody else who wants to move then, so.
Yeah, and if she does take that opportunity action because I now have my shield, don't forget to add the extra 2 armor class.
It should do that automatically if you have it equipped. What's your?
Well, right,
see.
but it shouldn't always apply that.
No, but if you go to inventory and equip and unequip your shield, it'll do it by clicking the little brown button next to the, just for future reference.
Gotcha.
Anyway, her snakes try to bite you again as you back away. But they do not. They hit the shield instead as you raise it. And Belisar's backing 5 feet away.
Yeah, so the symbol on Belisar's shield glows brightly as he steps away and seems to coat himself within the light of Bahamut.
Beautiful. Shine.
Alrighty. Alright, this is gonna be really hard to believe, but I'm gonna shoot her in the face.
Well, question 1 is: Are you looking at her this turn?
Gonna look her dead in the face and shoot her in it.
I like your
Ballsy,
style.
I like it.
One moment. Oh, hold on.
Oh.
We're gonna keep that roll, but
if that's auto, if that's an auto petrification, I'll use my inspiration to let her roll again.
yeah, that you can't do that, right?
I can give inspiration to
Something-
anyone.
Right.
Oh, true. Yeah.
You have to choose before the roll. Well, that hasn't been how I'm going to run it, so I'm going to continue with my rolls for how I've been running it, which is this.
Oh, okay.
I'll figure it out later. So if you want, you can re-roll that save. Would you like to do so?
Yes, please.
Okay, because Hux is spending inspiration for you, which is a good call, because that is... You have to fail by a certain amount, but that is a very bad... Oh, I rolled on Hux by mistake, sorry.
Still counts.
It's good.
Still
You
counts
can
as
take,
the
you can
roll.
take
I
the
think
die
you
roll,
made
just
it.
add the different modifier.
She still fails, but that is not a. Oh, is it? Shoot.
Well, if you take the
that
if
is
you take
not in.
Hux's roll.
That is not in on 5 or more. So 9, 5 or more math. Yes. Okay.
Yep,
Well,
failure.
that's still an auto petrification, I'm afraid. So Zalcor,
What?
sorry, yeah, it's 5. Fail by 5 or more.
I cry out, farewell.
As Shine begins to draw Hero back and looks the Medusa straight in the face. First her hands, and then slowly creeping up her arms, and her entire body turns to stone.
Farewell.
Catch
And
her.
instead, there's just a Shine statue standing there.
At least I look cool.
It's not a character death. You can come back from this. Just there has to be ways to do it.
Well, yes, but you have to give me my drama. I'm a cat.
Oh yeah, super yes.
Okay, well, so Hux just saw that, and Hux is, you don't know you didn't think a little kobold that's not even 3 feet long tall could make a sound like that? That, like, rage-filled? But yeah, I'm going to shoot her in the face. Well, not looking her in the eye, but I still have friendly, so it'll just be a regular attack roll. Sorry, things on my end got a little complicated because I accidentally made the map larger than I wanted to. Okay, let's see.
If I actually do die on my 3rd session, I'm gonna be so mad.
Well, I mean, you can't die now that you're a statue. I mean, it's very hard.
Ha ha.
He is right in
You're a
front of a
stone-heart-
staircase, though.
You're
One
a
little
stone-hearted
push.
DM.
I have been told that. I just follow most of the rules.
But that was such a good pun.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Mine was a good.
Yeah, I know. I was saying thank you for making a good pun.
Oh, I thought you were thanking me for your pun.
No, be terrible.
I'm pretty sure I've done it before.
And then I move up there, and I'm going to try and hide again as a bonus.
Hux's arrow lands true, striking her just below, like, the nape of her neck, kind of in the sternum. She's got several arrows sticking out of her, bleeding from several wounds, but she's still fighting. Kawasha seems concerned. I think he'll cast Thunderwave at 2nd level. And maybe move here and blast her away from the party at the moment. If anybody wants to engage with her, they can, he figures.
I'm just overthinking shit again.
It's 10 feet, right? Yeah.
Just did 10 damage to Kawasha.
Whoops.
That's okay, sweetie.
Fixed. It knocks her back over the dais and over to the other side. She manages to land on her feet, but she has to steady herself for a moment, and she kind of sways back and forth between the drugs and the many wounds. She looks in poor shape. Weed rushes forward to Kawasha's side and unleashes another sling attack.
As Azaka's
Kill it, Weed! Kill it! God damn it.
as Azaka's turn passes by completely uneventfully, there's a quiet moment on the battlefield.
Yes.
I just have this image of this like little screaming Groot. Green Groot. You took away my perch.
Salcor rushes forward towards Kawasha then. after getting knocked back, apparently sick of these thunder waves. He's able to wrap several of the snakes kind of around his staff briefly as they try to bite him, keeping them at bay. The short sword swings out once, twice. The last blow hits, but it doesn't damage Quasha deeply. He had cast Bark Skin earlier, by the way, so his skin is currently like that
I
of
assumed
a
as much when we went
smooth
into
jungle
combat.
tree.
That's pretty much his go-to.
He did it when he was when you kidding. He did it when he was still standing outside, kind of just watching and listening from a distance. Bran.
All right. Bonus action to reignite the fire.
Heck yeah. There you go. That'll do it.
Oh man, I didn't get my follow up. Oh well, that's okay.
She holds as she stabs Kawasha with the short sword, then draws it back out. Her other hand kind of goes to wipe the blood off of the red hot blade, and as it does so, just trying to think how this would work. The short sword just kind of explodes from the heat, shattering shards of red hot metal directly into her face and torso. She staggers back into the dais and then falls back and does not move, just kind of laying reclined, wounded, blood still leaking from the wounds, but clearly not breathing upon the ruined remains of her royal couch.
In an uncharacteristically quick bout of motion out of Balasar, he quickly draws his cloak off of his back and throws it over her face.
All right, I'm gonna take my other action to make sure that Shine like was frozen in kind of a she's standing, right? She's not looking like she's gonna tip over or anything.
No, she is steady.
Okay.
She was in a steady stance because she was going to fire a bow.
True that.
Are we out of combat?
Yes, sorry, we are out of
I
combat.
think so.
Okay, with the body right there, my nature roll told me about things from cockatrices and basilisks, but nothing from the organs of the Gorgon, right?
You're not aware of anything like that. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Okay, we'll start with every organ then, starting with the heart.
Hux just immediately begins to field strip this Medusa or the remains of it.
Make sure you leave her face covered.
If I try to know something, would that be Arcana or Nature?
It depends on what you're trying to know. What's your question?
Is there actually something inside the Medusa that would actually help rectify the whole frozen, being turned to stone thing?
That could actually be Nature or Arcana in this case.
Okay, I will use a nature specifically for that. I thought it would have to be Arcana.
I'll just roll Arcana.
I mean, you already rolled for this.
Okay.
Well,
Hold on. I would assist with that, and you'd get advantage.
It's true.
For me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay, yeah.
I'm proficient in Arcana.
Okay, thank you.
That's better.
I think I should
you
just
don't
let
know a lot
roll.
about Medusas.
And I have an empty vial specifically for stuff like that. So, take heart's blood on. If that doesn't work, take heart matter, pour it on.
Could I do a history check, see if I've heard any stories that might give us a clue on how to fix this?
There's an idea.
Yes.
All right. So,
I also assist with that.
and just for extra measure, I'm gonna.
You can only assist with one of these. Sorry, Jay.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
For extra measure, I'm going to add the bardic inspiration that I still have. Is it a D4, D6? What am I rolling for that one?
Wait. Inspiration.
Didn't you use it? Or-
No, I haven't used the bardic inspiration yet.
Oh, the
Oh.
Bardic Inspiration.
So
yeah,
it lasts
Oh yeah, I
for
gave
like
it to him
10.
earlier. Yeah.
it's a D6 still.
Just for
It'll
extra
become
measure.
a D8 later.
Yeah, it will.
So that's a
Well, that's a
23.
high
Next
roll.
level, I'm pretty sure it becomes a D8 for me.
All right, I'll give you that. One moment.
Did we actually ever get her name?
No.
We did not. I did not know her name is Zelcore.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I think we got that before.
Several
it came
people
in.
have told you that.
I see. All right.
And it's been
good.
written all over the place.
All right. All right.
um, all right, so it's 23 history.
Yep.
So you haven't heard of like this being a common event, or even any specifically about like people harvesting a Medusa to cure it. But what you have heard is that there are several basilisks are not uncommon in Chult, and there's at least one Medusa. Back in Port Nyanzaru, there's almost the priests there are almost certainly skilled enough to resolve this issue if you can carry the statue back across Chult and back to Port Nyanzaru. It is also possible that the monks and the priests at the monastery you were just at could resolve the issue. In fact, you recall seeing a lot of magical scrolls in the monastery, and you know that those scrolls are left over from the priests due to your historical knowledge and your understanding of the monastery, which is much closer than Port Nyanzaru. You know that those are scrolls that are mostly left over from when priests of Ubtao dwelt there. So it is entirely possible there's a scroll of greater restoration that someone could use there.
Oh crap! Hey, my
But you're
fantasy
unlikely to. That's okay. We're about to be finished up here. I mean, by all means, log back in if you like. But you haven't heard any stories about people being able to heal using the parts of Medusa.
So I kind of relay that to Hux. I'm sorry, but nothing inside of that creature will be able to reverse what's happened. However, if we head back to Kir Sabal, the monastery there were scrolls that may be able to give us the spells we need to help our friends.
I possess the knowledge, but not, or I possess the skill set, but not the knowledge to be able to reverse this effect myself. It requires one much more experienced than I.
Perhaps the priests, either back at Kir Sabal or back at Port Nyanzaru, they might be able to
I'm willing to
assist.
bet that at least one of the ones that cures the ball could take care of this. But if not, we will find a way.
Then make preparations. We're bringing them both back.
Well, that's a good place to end the session.
Yeah, but as you just keep saying that, still feels dripping. Just
Yeah.
every piece of
Can't hurt.
piece apart.
Yeah.
I
All
assume
right.
I assume that he messes up my cloak something awful while he's doing this. I don't know. I don't know if a mending cantrip works for cleaning. I know it works for reparations, but does it work for cleaning?
It does not clean.
That's prestidigitation.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll cast
the way it depends
Prestidigitation,
on.
I'll clean it up.
Okay.
A soft
that's
voice
easy enough.
carries upon the wind. Loot everything. Get my boat back.
I was planning on dragging.
I don't
you
think we
guys
can get the
back in
boat
the
until
boat.
we lift
we're not leaving
Azaka
the boat.
up.
Yeah, Azaka's kind of well. No, you can. You know that if you do it, she'll just like kind of fall out of it. But then she might break. Well, no, she won't break. It's only like an inch, so you'll be fine. If you want to retrieve the boat, you can. Because of how the
Petals
boat
flow
works,
in
it'll
the
unfold
wind.
around her.
Voice.
Well, I'll help carry a statue if I need to.
Balasar specifically actually grabs the black orchid in the pot that it's in.
I thought Bran already has that.
Oh, did he?
I know that I seemed really
like the
mean this
petals.
session. I just want to observe that there were actually several things I did not do
Oh, it's
that
not
I
me.
could have done.
Oh no, you're totally
Are-
fine. I shouldn't.
are you-
I just
stared
wanted to
her right in the
clarify.
face. It's my own fault.
I mean,
By the way, now that everything is done, this was the action that I was going to take.
GP, are you saying that you were being nice, kind of?
Well, yeah, I mean, I often do things, so you'll know when I'm being strict, but I don't often state when I'm like, for instance, I'll just give you for instance, this fight was actually supposed to be more difficult. When she gets to the low hit points, the ghost of her lover is supposed to appear and fight you as well.
Oh, okay. that's
So
alright.
I
that would've
didn't
been
do
fun.
that. So like I said, I know some of you haven't played with me a lot as a DM, so I just wanted to clarify that if I seem very strict sometimes, well, I am fairly strict, but I'm also a lot of the times I am also doing things that you don't know about that will help you kind of judging based on how I want things to be significantly challenging. I don't want things to be disheartening and overwhelming.
I mean,
I mean,
Right.
we
I
were
appreciate your
almost
trust in me.
fine. We were almost cool, and then someone shot her in the face.
Yes, that is true.
Well, she did try to
Almost
drug
killed her.
us.
She did try to drug you. She didn't take it. She hadn't yet taken a deliberately hostile move. You could have just probably left after she threw the tray, but
Exactly. she just
Also-
threw it. It was like,
here's the thing: I wasn't watching, so I
Right.
just heard things fall and then shot in the face. JP, I think especially with this, players always have an option not to look, so it's not harsh at all.
yeah, that's also true.
yeah,
It's
no, like
definitely
I looked her in the face.
Yeah.
It was my own fault. But
All right, great.
Yeah,
There's not a
apparently on
lot,
the-
unfortunately, of worth in this place, but you do find. I mean, her dress is probably worth a significant amount, even faded as it is. The rest of the place is kind of just rotted away. There isn't much worth, but you can find like 10 vials of what is clearly the drug she was using to get high as heck.
So I do want to point out, by the way, that I had to like actively not metagame the moment that I saw the statue. I knew it was a Medusa,
Yeah.
and
I mean, I
well,
figured-
Medusas have a glaring weakness, but most people don't know it. I mean, it would require a pretty high DC skill check in order to know
Yep.
that all you got to do is show them a mirror and they're done.
It's true. Well,
Yeah, I
it's
thought about that, but I don't have a mirror.
did anyone have a
I
mirror?
actually,
No.
if it made it to my next turn, I was going to ask if the tray that all the drinks were on was reflective.
I mean, it was deliberately not.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say it, but
Yeah.
like it specifically says that it
Yeah,
like,
I couldn't
it
remember if
does-
you had mentioned that or
she-
not. So
so during that like social encounter portion, there's like a
Mhm.
few triggers that can cause violence. And one of them is like if anybody pulls out a mirror for any reason during the conversation, she just like flips out because she knows too. Like
Yeah.
that it's bad news for her.
But yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, if a Medusa ever actually sees their own reflection, there's no saving throw, there's no pass and go, no collected $200. They are just instantly turned to stone.
Yep. But
And like
it-
I knew that. Like I knew that going in there, and I was like, nope, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it because Balasar would not know this.
yeah, nobody rolled high enough to know that, so. All right.
Yeah, and
I don't think-
I mean, I double checked Balasar's skills, and the only one that would have even come close is Arcana, but that felt like a stretch to me, so I didn't roll it.
Yeah, they're monstrosities, so it's usually not covered in that sort of thing. Honestly, history might have got it, but Fennec was a little distracted at the time. In any case, I have to go to work. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yep. Thanks for running. Good game.
sesh.
Yeah,
was a lot of
I'll
fun.
see you next week. We should be able to like resolve Shide's petrification at some point. So next session. So if you want to still arrive, that would be good. If you also need to miss next session, it'd be a good session to miss. So
I'm
All
in.
right.
catch you all next week.
See ya.
Bye.
all right, so yeah, thanks again everybody for tuning in today. So yeah, next stream that happens should be on the new computer, so I'm going to be spending the next couple days getting all that set up. excited, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm hoping with the new setup, it'll be able to improve everything else. Like I'll be able to get better quality out of the stream, out of the games that I'm playing, better quality all around. So, thanks again for tuning in. Gonna play D&D. Obviously, is every Thursday. If you're new to the channel or anything, every Thursday we try and play 7:30 start time usually. Technical difficulties and could push that back later, but yeah, look forward to seeing you all next time. Take care.